Hello everyone, this is Father Joaquin Ibarra at the IVE Seminary in Maryland, United States. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark. Jesus went up the mountain and summoned those whom he wanted, and they came to him. He appointed 12, whom he also named apostles, that they might be with him, and he might send them forth to preach, and to have authority to drive out demons. He appointed the 12, Simon, whom he named Peter, James, son of Zebedee, and John, the brother of James, whom he named Boanerges, that is, sons of thunder, Andrew, Philip, Bartholomew, Matthew, Thomas, James, the son of Alphaeus, Thaddeus, Simon the Cananean, and Judas Iscariot, who betrayed him. The Gospel of the Lord. Today we hear in the Gospel the calling of the apostles, those men chosen by Jesus Christ to follow him closely, to know him more intimately, and to bear witness to him throughout the world. Upon Peter and the apostles, Jesus Christ founded the church. That is why we call the church apostolic. Through the church, where the power given by Jesus Christ to the apostles resides, his grace expands in time and place. And so, we, living so many years after and in a place so far from the death and resurrection of Christ, still we receive the infinite graces that he obtained for us in his redemptive act. And this is so thanks to these men, the apostles, thanks to their faithfulness to Jesus Christ. When we think on the apostles, we can also think on one of the greatest miracles of the early church, which was the miracle of the church rapid expansion, considered as a great miracle, for it cannot be explained how these 12 men spread the gospel so fast in almost all the known world. Even less explanation is found when one considers their condition and the world they faced. We see 12 men, most of them very simple in their formation, from a small nation, forgotten and even despised. They preached a doctrine that was difficult to believe, to understand, and even to live, because they spoke to the pagans of a God who became man and who died the terrible death of the cross, and then rose again, but he is no longer here because he went up to heaven. In fact, many of them laughed at them when they preached this doctrine. And then, to follow this man that they were preaching about, one must die to oneself and carry one's own cross, be willing to suffer and to serve one's neighbor. Moreover, if you begin to follow this doctrine and become one of his followers, you must suffer terrible persecution and even die for it. Humble men were the apostles, who fearlessly went out to preach this doctrine before the pride of the Pharisees of Judaism, or before the wise men of Greece, or before the great politicians of the Roman Empire. They did not back down, and their mission, by their faithfulness and the power of God, triumphed and worked that great and beautiful miracle of the rapid expansion of the church in the first centuries of Christianity. Let us mention then two things, two attitudes or virtues that we can imitate from the apostles, so we can also become apostles, disciples of Jesus in this time. The first one is testimony. They dedicated their lives and even their death for Jesus Christ, a life devoted to proclaim the gospel of Jesus, testimony that was later crowned with the glory of martyrdom, the most eloquent way to proclaim a truth of which one is truly convinced. The blood of the martyrs is the seed of new Christians. So the blood of the apostles was the seed for so many conversions. We too must give untiring witness of our Lord Jesus Christ in our life. The second virtue that we can imitate is that fidelity to the teachings of Jesus Christ. And this is so important for our time. The apostles knew that they were carrying a difficult doctrine to a world that had never heard it. They knew that they were custodians and servants of that doctrine that they proclaimed and that they had learned from Jesus Christ himself. And they never changed it. They never changed it to make themselves look good to the world. Instead, they died for it. Whether in Persia, Jerusalem, Athens, or Rome, they preached the same doctrine. They sought not accommodation with the world. Let us then follow the example of the apostles and always be faithful to the teachings of our Lord Jesus Christ, giving testimony with our behavior, with our lives, and never mundanizing the message, exchanging it for another message of the world. Let us ask for this grace and strength through the intercession of our Mother, Mary Most Holy, Queen of the Apostles.
Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed hearing the Gospel and homily, I invite you to share it with someone you know who may also find it rewarding, and also to subscribe to the Catholic Voice channel. Please see in the description below if you would like to receive a text message for each daily Gospel and homily. Please also keep our missionary priests throughout the world in your prayers. Thank you, and God bless.